Bob thinks to himself about the future of investments, imagining how putting money in environmentally friendly companies can help preserve the planet for the next generations. He's excited about the opportunities. Bob looks over his research, curious about how companies that focus on sustainability and good governance are becoming more attractive to investors, realizing the potential benefits for both society and profits. As Bob strolls through the park, he reflects on how green finance through ESG investing can contribute to cleaner air, better ecosystems, and more sustainable growth, aligning wealth with the well-being of the planet. Bob stands proudly before the chart, watching the rise of ESG investments. He knows that by supporting companies with strong environmental and social values, investors can help create a better, sustainable future. Bob greets his new partner with a firm handshake, thrilled about collaborating on ESG projects. Together, they aim to influence the market, pushing for more responsible business practices that prioritize the planet's health. Bob is deep in research, fascinated by the potential of ESG investments. As he browses, he uncovers numerous opportunities where his money can support sustainable practices, making him eager to invest in green companies. Bob walks through the city streets, amazed by the green rooftops and solar panels. He envisions a world where cities are powered by renewable energy, supported by smart investments that contribute to a cleaner, greener world. Bob gazes over the solar panels, excited by the future of clean energy investments. He imagines how these sustainable sources will not only save the planet, but also provide great returns for conscious investors like him. Bob passionately presents to the boardroom, emphasizing the importance of ESG in today's economy. He explains that sustainable companies are not only ethically responsible, but are also positioning themselves for long-term success. Bob shares his excitement over coffee, explaining how ESG investments can help mitigate climate change and address social inequalities. He encourages his friend to consider the long-term benefits of supporting green and ethical businesses. Bob stares at the trees, thinking about the devastating effects of deforestation. He believes that investing in companies committed to reforestation is crucial for a sustainable future and a healthier planet. As Bob watches the documentary, he's moved by the stories of communities affected by climate change. He feels compelled to invest in companies that are actively working to reduce their carbon footprint and protect natural resources. At the conference, Bob takes detailed notes about the rising trend of businesses adopting ESG strategies. He's eager to see how these practices will become the standard in the next decade and how investors can play a role. Bob smiles as he checks his ESG portfolio. It's growing steadily, showing him that investing in companies that focus on sustainability, social justice, and good governance is both rewarding and impactful. Bob sits attentively at the webinar, soaking in expert advice on sustainable investing. He's learning about new tools and strategies to help him make informed decisions that align his investments with his values. Bob studies the blueprint for a new green building, fascinated by the possibilities of sustainable real estate. He knows that investments in energy-efficient homes and offices will be crucial for the future of urban living. As Bob walks through the mall, he notices all the eco-friendly products and sustainable practices. He's inspired, realizing that ESG investments can shift consumer habits towards greener choices, ultimately creating a more sustainable economy. Bob watches the wind turbines turn gracefully, imagining a future where wind energy dominates the power grid. He understands that supporting wind energy investments will not only provide returns, but help fight global warming. Bob listens intently as the analyst explains the growing role of renewable energy in the financial world. He's convinced that investments in solar, wind, and other sustainable energy sources will lead the way in the coming decades. Bob gazes up at the large billboard, proud to see that eco-friendly investments are becoming mainstream. He's thrilled to be part of a movement that's reshaping the world of finance towards sustainability. Bob looks at the graph with excitement, seeing how green energy stocks have grown over the past few years. He realizes that investing in these companies is a win for both his portfolio and the planet. Bob looks up at the solar panels, imagining how this renewable energy source will continue to grow. He believes that investing in solar companies will be crucial for a sustainable future. Bob tells his friend that millennials are increasingly drawn to sustainable investing, wanting their money to reflect their values. He's excited to see the next generation lead the charge for a greener world. Bob watches the waterfall flow, contemplating the importance of water conservation. He understands that investing in companies that focus on preserving water resources will benefit both the environment and society. Bob scans the ESG report, impressed by the company's commitment to social responsibility. He believes that companies with strong social values are not only making a positive impact, but also generating long-term returns. Bob examines his portfolio, smiling as he sees the balance of green bonds and sustainable stocks. He's proud to invest in companies that prioritize both profit and positive social and environmental impact. Bob passes by the office of a green energy company, impressed by their commitment to sustainability. He's excited to invest in businesses like this that are leading the way in renewable energy and climate action. Bob uses a whiteboard to explain to his colleagues how ESG investments can lead to long-term financial stability while contributing to a healthier planet. He knows this is the future of smart investing. Bob passionately explains to his clients how clean tech investments can reduce greenhouse gas emissions and help mitigate climate change. He's convinced that this is the most responsible way to invest for the future. Bob gazes at the waves, reflecting on how sustainable tourism can protect natural environments. He knows that eco-friendly resorts and tours will grow as more people seek environmentally conscious travel options. Bob flips through a report that shows how ESG investments are helping lift people out of poverty. He's proud to be part of a movement that not only provides financial returns, but also creates social change. Bob reads with interest about a company's commitment to reducing its carbon footprint. He's impressed and eager to invest in companies that are actively working to tackle climate change. Bob strolls through the farmer's market, appreciating the sustainable agriculture practices. He understands that investing in companies that support organic and eco-friendly farming is a powerful way to protect the environment. At the conference, Bob listens intently as experts discuss the latest innovations in green technology. He's eager to invest in companies that are using technology to combat climate change and promote sustainability. Bob examines the brochure on electric cars, excited about the potential for green transportation investments. He knows that the shift towards electric vehicles will be a major driver of sustainable growth in the coming years. Bob explains to his colleague how investing in energy-efficient buildings can lower emissions and reduce energy consumption. He's convinced that green construction will become a significant part of the ESG investment landscape. Bob reads an article about corporate transparency regarding ESG efforts. He's pleased to see how companies are becoming more open about their sustainability practices, making it easier for investors like him to make informed decisions. So, Bob walks through the lush forest, realizing the importance of biodiversity. He understands that supporting companies dedicated to protecting wildlife and natural habitats is essential for a sustainable future. Bob watches with interest as experts explain the rise of green bonds. He sees them as a great opportunity to invest in projects that help the environment while offering steady returns. Bob browses a website tracking the progress of ESG initiatives. He's pleased to see how industries are increasingly aligning their business models with sustainability goals, and he's excited to invest in companies leading the way. Bob listens to the podcast, nodding as the hosts discuss how sustainability is becoming central to financial markets. He's inspired and more determined than ever to make ESG investing a core part of his portfolio. At the seminar, Bob listens to an expert explain the importance of corporate transparency in ESG investing. He understands that businesses with strong governance structures are more likely to succeed in the long term. Bob reads the report, impressed by the financial performance of companies that prioritize ESG. He's confident that integrating sustainability into investment strategies is not only responsible but profitable. Bob tours the recycling plant, realizing how recycling companies are transforming waste into valuable resources. He sees this as a great opportunity for sustainable investments that will help reduce the environmental footprint. Bob attends the charity event, reflecting on how socially responsible investing can support communities in need. He believes that directing funds towards socially conscious companies will help create a more just and equitable world. Bob explains to his colleagues that ESG investments are about the long-term impact, not short-term profits. He's passionate about supporting businesses that will thrive while creating positive change for the environment and society. At the fashion conference, Bob listens to speakers discuss the growing trend of sustainable fashion. He's excited about the potential for investments in eco-friendly clothing brands that prioritize sustainability and ethical labor practices. Bob watches the documentary, fascinated by the growing influence of corporate social responsibility. He's convinced that businesses that align with ESG values will not only create positive social impact, but will also drive financial success. Bob explores the electric vehicle showroom, imagining how the automotive industry is shifting toward green alternatives. He sees this as an exciting opportunity to invest in the future of transportation. Bob looks at the wind turbine, thinking about how renewable energy will play a vital role in a green economy. He's eager to invest in wind and solar power companies that are driving the future of clean energy. Bob enjoys reading about sustainable finance, eager to learn more about how investments can support environmental and social causes. He believes that understanding these principles will guide him toward better investment decisions. Bob's eyes widen as he watches the digital dashboard, noticing the growing number of ESG-friendly companies gaining traction. He realizes that investors are flocking to these stocks, making them a smart choice for future returns. At the event, Bob exchanges ideas with another investor about the increasing popularity of green bonds. They both agree that these investments are not only ethical, but offer promising financial returns as well. Bob watches electric cars charge, realizing the role these green vehicles play in reducing carbon emissions. He's excited about the potential to invest in companies that are leading the electric vehicle revolution. Bob listens carefully as his financial advisor explains the rise of sustainable agriculture. He's eager to invest in companies that are helping to feed the world while preserving the environment through responsible farming practices. Bob looks at the corporate sustainability rankings, impressed by the progress many companies have made. He knows that investing in high-ranking companies can lead to both ethical and profitable outcomes. As Bob sits in the park, he thinks about the importance of urban green spaces in fighting climate change. He understands that investing in cities that prioritize sustainability will benefit both investors and the environment. Bob looks at the map, amazed by the global expansion of renewable energy projects. He's excited to invest in these initiatives, knowing that they play a key role in transitioning the world toward a more sustainable future. Bob enjoys networking with like-minded professionals at a sustainable investing event. He's thrilled to be part of a growing community that's focused on making positive changes through responsible financial decisions. Bob proudly holds the wind turbine model, sharing how wind energy is a crucial part of the green economy. He believes that investing in renewable energy sources like wind power will lead to long-term profitability and environmental impact. Bob explains to a friend how ESG metrics can help evaluate the true value of an investment. He knows that incorporating environmental, social, and governance factors will make his portfolio more sustainable and profitable. Bob tours the green building, amazed by its energy-efficient design. He's excited about the future of sustainable real estate and believes that investing in green buildings will be a major part of his strategy. Bob examines the screen, learning how socially responsible companies can offer financial growth while making a positive impact. He's excited to invest in businesses that align with his values and provide long-term returns. Bob relaxes in the rooftop garden, appreciating the role of urban agriculture in reducing carbon footprints. He believes investing in sustainable urban farming initiatives is a smart way to promote a greener future. Bob smiles as he reads the report, seeing that ESG investments are outperforming traditional stocks. He's convinced that sustainable investing is not only the right thing to do, but also the smart financial move. Bob watches the news segment, excited to see how renewable energy investments are transforming the energy market. He's eager to invest in clean energy companies that are revolutionizing the industry. Bob chats with fellow investors at the sustainability conference, stressing the importance of supporting eco-friendly startups. He believes these young companies have the potential to make a huge impact on the environment and the economy. Bob carefully reviews the performance data of a sustainable investment fund. He's impressed by the consistent returns and feels proud knowing his money is supporting environmentally responsible projects. Bob looks at the Green Energy Fund brochure, reflecting on the future of sustainable finance. He knows that investing in renewable energy will not only help combat climate change, but also yield great returns. Bob participates in a community meeting, sharing how local investments can promote sustainability. He believes that supporting green projects at the local level can have a significant impact on both the environment and the community. Bob admires the green tech company's logo, reflecting on how innovative technologies can help solve global challenges. He's eager to invest in companies that are pioneering new solutions for a sustainable world. Bob watches the presentation, captivated by how green finance can drive social change. He realizes that investments in ESG-driven businesses not only generate profits, but also contribute to a more equitable society. Bob attends the fundraiser, reflecting on how charitable investments can be integrated into ESG strategies. He believes that philanthropically minded investors can make a significant difference in the world. Bob eagerly reads the company's sustainability report, thrilled by their commitment to renewable energy. He's convinced that investing in such companies will be key to a brighter, greener future. Bob meets with the founders of a renewable energy startup, discussing a potential investment. He's excited by the company's innovative approach to clean energy and believes they're poised for great success. Bob looks over his financial statement, pleased with the steady growth of his ESG-focused portfolio. He's confident that this approach is both responsible and financially rewarding in the long run. Bob attends the climate action event, eager to learn about the latest developments in green technology. He's inspired to invest in businesses that are at the forefront of creating solutions for climate change. Bob looks at the screen, excited to explore new opportunities in impact investing. He's eager to find companies that align with his values and make a tangible difference in the world. Bob browses the sustainable fashion store, contemplating the future of eco-friendly investments in the fashion industry. He's excited to support brands that are making a positive environmental impact. Bob participates in the Green Energy Summit, stressing the importance of investing in wind and solar power. He believes these renewable sources will lead the way toward a sustainable energy future. Bob watches the documentary, imagining how green investments can shape the cities of tomorrow. He's excited about the potential for eco-friendly urban development that reduces emissions and promotes sustainability. Bob walks down the bustling city street, thinking about how ESG investments can improve urban infrastructure. He believes that sustainable cities are not only more livable, but also more profitable for investors. Bob sits at the panel, eager to hear insights on the future of green finance. He's inspired by the ideas shared, knowing that this field will continue to grow and create impactful investment opportunities. Bob analyzes the graph, seeing how ESG investments are outpacing traditional ones. He's excited to be part of this trend, knowing that aligning his portfolio with sustainability values is the right path forward. Bob discusses with his colleague the importance of supporting green tech startups. He believes these companies have the potential to revolutionize industries and lead the way in tackling climate change. Bob watches as the screen shows the rise of ethical consumerism. He knows that this shift is influencing ESG investing, with more people wanting their purchases to support companies that care about the planet. Bob sits at his desk, carefully considering the benefits of a renewable energy ETF. He's excited to make the move, knowing that this investment will not only yield returns but also help reduce the carbon footprint. Bob reads the article with interest. Seeing that sustainable finance is no longer a niche market. He's thrilled to see this trend becoming mainstream and believes it's the future of investing. Bob tours the energy-efficient home, impressed by its sustainable features. He sees great potential in investing in green real estate, knowing that these homes will be in demand as more people seek eco-friendly living options. Bob watches the video, understanding how ESG investments can reduce long-term risk while promoting sustainability. He's eager to adjust his portfolio, knowing that responsible investing is both financially and ethically rewarding.